What's up guys, Sammy D here with Kart Life, covering Mario Kart Tour and Mario Kart in general. We've got Wave 3 of the Booster Course Pass on Mario Kart 8 DLC, and once again I'm here with a soundtrack reaction video. I'm a musician, drummer, producer. I love music. I love the music of the Mario Kart franchise. I love seeing how it changes from game to game, and we have 8 new tracks coming to Mario Kart 8 that have appeared in Tour, appeared in other games before. We're going to hear how these soundtracks evolved. I'm going to just give you my off-the-cuff reaction to these new big band versions of these Mario Kart iconic classic bangers. This is my first time listening to these. I haven't even played the DLC yet. It's been out for a day. I wait just for you guys to give you my raw, uncut, from the heart reaction. Let's get into it. And the first one is going to be scary because it's London Loop. And London Loop, for a lot of Mario Kart players, including myself, least favorite city soundtrack in Mario Kart Tour. Let's listen to the original and I'll tell you why. Here we go. Okay, so here's London Loop. We're coming in with a big rock fill and hard rock guitars. I think that with this and Rock Rock Mountain, once again, I'm getting hit with these hard rock, heavy metal Nintendo guitars. I don't know why Nintendo is so obsessed with heavy metal guitar. I know some of you guys watching love that stuff. When I think of London, I think of not this. Okay, so what is the music of London? And I have a whole other city soundtrack video I want to make for you guys based on Mario Kart Tour and the other great city soundtracks. So we'll talk about all this more in depth. But this shredding here, that note, it drives me crazy. I'm trying to think, what are they doing here? And the only thing I can think of is, okay, I think of like the classic British invasion music that came out of the swingin' 60s in London. Obviously the Beatles, but then after that stuff like, you know, the Kinks and the Who and all these great mod bands. So I think of rock and roll and London together for sure. But this is not that sound of rock and roll. This is like 80s Nintendo heavy metal rock, and I don't really get it. That squealing solo, it doesn't sound good in game because you can't hear the bass frequencies and hear the chords underneath as well. Let's hear the new version and see if they hopefully improve on this a little bit. Shout out to Tom TZ Gaming for providing these soundtracks. All right, let's go. Okay, it's even more hi-fi, even more, and what I mean by hi-fi is Mario Kart 8 redone. Oh, a whole new counterpoint. Okay, fine. Organ is a big player in the Mario Kart 8 soundtracks. I do like this a little bit better. This section is a little more groovy. Here's the solo. The ride cymbal, it's so over the top in an 80s. There's that note. Okay, a new guitar riff. This is kind of a newly accentuated hook in this version. And we're basically starting over again. The drums have a little break. A lot of ghost notes here, a little bass fill. Going to the toms, guitar solo coming in. I like the organ pads right here. So organ, a big character in the Mario Kart 8 big band, but in general what you have in the Mario Kart 8 redos that I'm not so crazy about. I've talked about this before, but this big band approach, all live, big drum set, lots of drum fills, over the top guitars, everything in the kitchen sink is thrown in, but in a rock band kind of setting. So was I destined to really not love the new version of London Loop? Yeah, probably, but I don't know, this is a slight improvement over the original. These shredding guitar tones, I don't know why Nintendo is so obsessed with them. They're about 25, 30 years behind the times there, but maybe that's just, in Japan people love heavy metal music still. Anyway, you guys give me some grief in the comments, I'm sure, all you metalheads out there. And let's go on to Boo Lake. I want to give some context and go back in time to the original versions of some of these so you can see how they evolved. Boo Lake, also the music from Broken Pier. This is from Mario Kart Super Circuit. Just came to Tour. We knew about all of these through the prefetches and stuff like that, but I'm not going to get into all that. Let's just listen to this classic GBA soundtrack. This is some classic, you know, Ghost House Mario type of stuff. There's a heavy delay where you hear it echoing. Here comes the drums. Okay, there's so much to say here. You have a strange drum beat that no human would really ever play. You have these open hi-hats or crash cymbals that are not happening with any kind of kick drum hit. Oh, the bass line. Really cool. But it reminds me of Tool's Sober, that bass line. Shout out to Frenzy Fanboy. But anyway, if you're a drummer, you know that you very rarely hit a crash cymbal without hitting a kick at the same time. It sounds kind of odd. It's very rare that you hear it in a recording. In the Mario Kart Tour version, let's hear how it adapts. So you already have a low synth bass coming in on top of this intro. There's a more soft, round sound to this ghostly melody here. I'm interested in how this is going to port into 8 because 8's going to do a live band arrangement. So this is still kind of MIDI. Hear those cymbals? It's a very, very odd drum beat. Like if I had to learn and practice this drum beat, which could be a whole other funny video, I don't know how I would do it. Even more punchy and staccato on the bass line there. It's a rad track. I mean, this is known for being a pretty cool soundtrack just because of its drum beat. Let's hear how it goes in Mario Kart 8. All right, mess me up. Ooh. Very clean, very hi-fi. It's almost like a cello or... We have organ and almost like a choir sound. I can't tell what that is. Let's hear how the drums come in. Full live drummer. Doing so many extra fills. Whoa. Okay, you have double kick fills, a lot of triplets on the drums. All due respect to the awesome Mario Kart band, but it is the kind of hard rock, heavy metal drumming that's a little more over the top. The cool thing about the GBA and old school retro soundtracks is that the programming makes interesting, simple, like electronic type beats that a real drummer would have a little bit of a hard time replicating. In this case, they just go full on rock band with this. That sound is very interesting. I'm not even sure how they're getting that. You hear the triplets there on the drums. A lot of hi-hat work. He's actually ignoring a lot of those iconic offbeat cymbal hits that made the song so distinct. So I don't know. Okay, you know, they're going for it. They're having a lot of fun, but I don't know. I'm taking this all as a whole. I want to see how that evolves over the course of the 8 tracks. Rock Rock Mountain, yet another rock song. So let's just go back in time to hear how this sounded. So Mario Kart 7. Now this is a rock song that kind of fits more within Mario Kart Tour to me. Maybe it's the tempo. It has some rock guitar, but it's not so over the top like your Van Halen shredding the guitar throughout the whole song. Let's hear it in Mario Kart Tour. Still MIDI, but sounds a little more like a real band now. That straight hi-hat is awesome. This reminds me of like AC/DC or something, but like way happier because it's translated into the happy world of the Mushroom Kingdom. Let's check out the brand new version of Rock Rock Mountain. I'm afraid it's going to be so over the top. Yep, the organ's coming in with that high octave, huge drum fill, more guitar shreds all over the neck. The hi-hat's more open. It's more muting on the electric guitar. They're going back in time. The more these soundtracks evolve, the more the guitars are becoming more and more dated 80s rock sound. I'm sorry to kind of sound like a broken record here, but I just find it an odd choice. It's not the only way to play rock music, you know? Riding on the bell on those off sections. Ooh, they've turned that chord into a major 7. Check this out. That's really interesting. Right here. This is the major 7 in the chord. That's a new modification to that chord in this version that is super cool. Ooh, 2 guitars. Oh, and we're moving up the bass line. Ooh, that's nice. They did this for the first time ever. Up a whole step on the bass line, which is only suggested in the original. And then here's the falling guitar. And then the shredding. Tapping. So we do have the shredding, you know. This is what this song has always been, a big rock song, and it fits in the world of Mario Kart. Let's move on into some other genres and styles and give ourselves a break from the electric guitar with Maple Treeway. So here's the original Mario Kart Wii version, and we talked in our previous videos about the new Mario Kart Big Band. It either goes like full hard rock, or it can bring in some electronic elements, which I like when it's that nice hybrid, or they have this like folk arrangement where there's a lot of acoustic instruments. And you hear this original Maple Trio. What it's basically trying to suggest is like the kind of music you hear like a Renaissance fair, where it's like folk instruments, including, I think it's supposed to be some kind of clarinet or something, but then an electronic beat comes in here. So it's a beautiful hybrid. I love particularly the triangle going on in the background. So let's hear how it progresses as we go through the games. This is like a harmonica playing the melody. So there you have it. What does this remind me of? It reminds me of, I want to say like the classic score to Midnight Cowboy, where the harmonica plays the lead line. You even hear little bongos in the background and little brushes on the snare. And this, I think, is supposed to be like a clarinet type of instrument or an oboe playing the second part. And then we get into the B section. Again, an electronic drum beat's going to come in. So let's hear how this sounds. Little acoustic guitar playing that little boom, 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 boom. So iconic. Let's hear how it sounds in the new game. I know some people heard this in the trailer and were surprised at how different it sounded. So let's see what I think about this. Wow. Okay, so we already have everything doing this at once. You do see, like, in your imagination, some big folk band with like a balalaika or some huge acoustic guitar, and then you have a flute playing the melody. So that's brand new. We're totally embracing the new Mario Kart 8 Big Band folk arrangement here. Let's see what happens. Harmonica. They've taken out the snare drum and it's a shaker. There's a harmony for the first time on the melody. So let's go back to that for a second. Break this down. We've got a shaker, which might have been what they intended for that, which sounded like a snare drum in the past with brushes. It's actually a shaker here, really high pitch, and the little hand drums, tiny bongos once again, with a melody where 2 harmonicas are playing the melody together. And now we go into like, it sounds like a sax playing the lead here. Wow. And now it's them together, which is an interesting sound. You don't hear that very often. So here we don't have any electronic instruments coming in for the B section. It's all, wow, it's all acoustic. We have a bass drum coming in. It might even be like a cajon or something like that. Wow. Strings. Oh, listen to the string section, the unison. That string line underneath is so cool. Beautiful arrangement on this. Oh, the little piano falling line. Oh my god, look at all these little fills. Listen to that little acoustic guitar fill one more time. Oh. Right there. Flute is playing it with the guitar. This is super cool. Piano. Now, only in Mario Kart do you hear these combinations of instruments together. It's truly, video game music really gives you that chance to hear arrangements containing instruments you would never hear exactly placed together. And even though this one doesn't have the electronic of the B section that we know from this song before, and that awesome B section with the drums and stuff, it still is so cool. I love the choice to just keep the acoustic ensemble doing the whole song here. Now, would it have been cool to have an electronic beat come in? Sure, but I give them major props for just going the full mile with this arrangement. This is so awesome. Wow. Okay, Berlin Byways, guys. This is what Berlin Byways is in Mario Kart Tour. So you're coming in with a hard electronic dance music type thing with these really grindy, almost like EDM, Skrillex sounding bass lines. But then you have orchestra hits coming in here as the drums just chug along right here. And you're thinking, what's happening? We're building up. This is total EDM. This is total Skrillex, like you're at a rave. And there's a hold for a drop. And then the drop happens. And you're jumping. Everyone's jumping. You're at the festival. And you're in a Baroque, classical, German music melody put on top of a dance club type of beat. It's an absolutely amazing synthesis of things. This is one of the coolest city tracks we've had in the soundtracks of Mario Kart Tour, so I cannot wait to see what they did here. It's going to hit so hard. I'm going to buckle up. I'm going to turn this up. I'm putting my headphones on. I'm cranking this, and we're going to go so hard on Berlin Byways right now. I'm just going to take this in. Here we go. Oh, what? Oh, big hits on that. Pops. Whoa. Really short with horns. Interesting. Interesting. I'm stopping here. I'm just going to tell you, I don't like this as much as the tour version. I got to give tour props on it. Sometimes the electronic MIDI version of a song, especially now with the technology, it can sound better than a live band trying to do the same thing. Now, you do have an electronic beat here, and I love what they did with it. It's different. And I love anytime it's this different, it's going to be interesting because you can compare and contrast and you can have your favorites. I'm sure a lot of people like this version more. Some people like the tour version more. But when it goes in really to the main section and you have like all the horns and the strings all kind of trying to do this melody at the same time, it's not working quite as well. It's not as dynamic. Part of it is the drum beat is very thick and unchanging. It's almost too clean. This counter melody on the brass, and it's not, it doesn't let the string melody soar as much, all this staccato brass being added in. Also, just like that, right here, this little break, let's just study this break right here. So it's like, there's a little fill. It's kind of like a light fill going through it with some sweeping synths going through it. But if you listen to the original that we had a second ago from Mario Kart Tour, during that break, they are just tweaking and distorting the bass line so much in such a more dynamic way. Just bounce back to that with me real quick and you'll see what I mean. Come on, I mean, even that growl. That's, even that, right here, check this out. I love that. I like the new version. I just don't think they beat it. Peach Gardens is up next. Let's go back to Mario Kart DS for the original Peach Gardens soundtrack. Along with Paris Promenade, this is a waltz, so it's in 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, or 6, 8, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is meant to be a accordion, I think, much like in Paris Promenade when we heard that Parisian style that's very appropriate to Princess Peach. And we have some percussion as well, shakers, almost a Latin percussion thing going on, which is very pervasive throughout the history of Mario Kart music. Latin percussion has been probably the biggest influence on Mario Kart music, as well as like ragtime and old jazz music. In Mario Kart Wii, it sounds a little more polished, but essentially completely identical. And in Mario Kart Tour, again, almost no difference between the Wii version and the Mario Kart Tour version. And if we go to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe at last, we have this. Wow. There are so many things playing that in unison that I don't even know how to pick it apart. There are 6 or 7 instruments all playing that instrument. And you hear the harp glissando at the end. Check that out. Glissando is when the harpist just goes up the strings, and it's such a nice effect. Wow. Violin has taken over the melody. This is a great choice. Love this. I mean, I don't even like acoustic waltz folk music. It's not like I would choose to listen to this. You have that strumming of the mandolin very fast. This is beautifully done. I'm gonna vibe out to this. Key change. What a great B section. I almost hear a steel drum in there that makes you feel like you're on like a beach level in a Mario game. There's like, again, it's that Latin music influence. I hear that in there somewhere. And then you have something going boom, blah, blah, boom, blah, blah, boom, blah, blah. And then the drums are, it's a very cool Latin jazz influenced version of a traditional, almost Parisian folk song. There are so many influences coming together in Mario Kart as a genre of music. That's why I love it so much. Merry Mountain is up next. So here is Merry Mountain from Mario Kart Tour. This was the first Nitro that came to MKT. It was a huge deal for us tour players because we hadn't had a new Nitro track, and to hear what Mario Kart would do with a Christmas song. You know, we have lots of winter soundtracks from Mario games before. We have other winter tracks in Mario Kart like Frappe Snowland and all the Vanilla Lakes, etc. But here you hear the accordion, almost a call out to Paris. You hear all the horns, which we know are going to come in this new big band version. This song is already tailor-made to be done by a big band in a new live arrangement. And throughout the history of Merry Mountain and Mario Kart Tour, I've always been trying to think to myself, what does this sound like? It's almost like, this sounds maybe the closest thing you would have to a piece of original score from like Mario Odyssey or Mario Galaxy or something like that. Right here, these strings, it's very orchestral, it's very movie-like, and that led me to think, I know what it sounds like. John Williams, the composer of classics, not only Star Wars and Superman and Indiana Jones, but also Harry Potter. And Home Alone is one I think of too, but you hear the sleigh bells in the background. This is a staple of any Christmas song. Church bells. You have big horns, which you think of big brass, you know, a group of brass players standing outside in a Christmas village. But then you have here, this is almost, again, Mexican folk music or Latin American folk music. So many influences coming together. Let's hear how it sounds in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I think it'll sound pretty similar because the Mario Kart Tour version did a really good job at creating a piece of music that sounded very big, very full, very heavily orchestrated. But I want to hear it with the real thing and in the context of kind of a John Williams classic Christmas Hollywood film score. Let's think of it this way and enjoy. Wow. Oh, this is total Mario Odyssey. They're emphasizing this is very Mario Odyssey, Mario Galaxy. So this is bringing even more into that vein. What a lead in. That string lead into the drop. So sick. The marching snare. Of course, the sleigh bells going throughout. Wow, that really lets those counter melodies really come to the forefront. And now we have the accordion coming in. The brass. Ooh. Oh. 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 Go back. Oh! Dude, the piano is so cool. The Latin American, once again, influence. Boom. Check this out. Part of it is the bass line. 1 5 1 5 1 5 1 5. Starting to open up again here. Go back to the more legato sound here. Ooh. Oh. That high string line, that's total John Williams to me. I think Merry Mountain exemplifies what only Mario Kart music can do, or Nintendo music, or video game music, you might even say, can do. It's just truly beautiful. Okay, Rainbow Road 3DS. This is an iconic track, maybe one of the most iconic pieces of Mario Kart music ever. I mean, this is a soaring, epic, inspiring, amazing electronic track that is probably would be on anyone's top 10 Mario Kart soundtracks. You just think of Mario Kart when you hear it. I'm pretty sure that, you know, there are a lot of songs that have contained allusions to other Mario Kart songs and little elements of others. I'm pretty sure we could trace elements of this song to other Mario Kart songs, and if anyone has already done that, let me know. But there's a familiarity to the melody here. One of the coolest things about this, in addition to having this, what a cool feel, right? The bass is just pedaling along. The tempo is chill. The tempo is slow, it's chill, but it's driving, and that bass really gives it the drive, right? And you have this soaring melody over the top, like you're just soaring through the galaxies. The coolest thing about this song is that when you get to the anti-gravity section or the moon section, the music changes and goes all ambient. Let's see if we can get a glimpse of that. So here, when you go into the moon section, this is what the song seamlessly morphs into. You have no drums at all, and you have a totally ambient version of this track. So just take this in for a second. Instead of the driving bass line, you have this lead synth kind of loop taking the place with the syncopation of the 16th notes. So I can't wait to see how this gets adopted into Mario Kart 8. This is probably the thing I'm most hyped about. In tour, this is what it sounds like. So even more pulsing, you know, a great update of the track. It's very faithful to the original, but it just punches it up in all of the right ways. Here we go onto the moon section. I mean, how cool is that? And it seamlessly goes back into the original. Okay, so hold this sound in your mind as we go into the Mario Kart 8 version, and let's check this out. And hopefully I'm not listening to any of the front-running versions. I'm sorry for doing that last time. Here we go, guys. Mario Kart 8 3DS Rainbow Road. Okay. I'm adjusting, because I think most, how can I put this? Okay, young people, I don't know why, because you're full of that youthful energy, right? You want the music to hit harder. Harder is always better, bigger, louder, faster, harder, more, right? I love the chill aspect of the other two versions of this song, so I'm adjusting to how hard hitting this is. But let's just take it as a dance mix, as a club mix, just like the track got totally souped up and glowed up. Everything's glowing a little more, neon, iridescent, rainbow lights everywhere. Let's just enjoy this as a kind of a hyper souped up dance mix version. Wow. I mean, this almost sounds like a front running version when they add that kind of dance beat on top. Let me get into this. I'm not mad. Wow. Turn it up. Bye. I'm going into my own little world here. Bye. Wow. Starting to get a little samey, but that's what trance music is, right? It's building, it's building, it's building! Wow, okay. Let's calm down, let's regroup. Let's regroup here. Wow, okay. I had to go into my vibe there because that was pretty freaking cool. I mean, it really was a club mix, a hyper club mix. I gotta say, this one little drop they added, you guys saw my reaction. Let's find it. Oh! So you leave out the downbeat. They're all punching the bum bum bum, which is 3 E and da. They're leaving out the downbeat as a whole. It is so effective in music, especially anything groove oriented. Leaving out that one, bam, and then hitting the accent right after. I mean, one more time, just for emphasis. The bass even slides down. You freaking geniuses. You freaking geniuses. Oh, and then listen to the synth. It goes, it bends just a little bit after. Listen to this. Oh, so cool. I can't wait for, you can't tell me that if you put all of us, all of you viewers, everyone watching here, all 6,000 Cart Life subscribers, you put us into the biggest dance club you can find, and we're all there together, and the DJ drops this song, and you can't tell me the entire place is not jumping up and down so hard that the roof and the ceiling at the same time both risk collapsing. This is everything you want from a remake of Rainbow Road. Let's go to the Moon version. Can we go to the Moon version TZ Gaming? Oh, mess me up, mess me up. Where's my glow stick? I will say that the melody is the sound they're using for the melody has such a hard attack on it. And an attack is when you hear the front of the note, it is sharp and it is percussive. Hear how each note has that hit to it. This is popular in trance club music, and it's accentuated in this version. You almost hear a percussion. It's such a precise point, but I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad about it. What a cool just composition in general. This little turnaround is so jazzy. Never underestimate the compositional brilliance of these composers. Ooh. I love this. The arpeggios have gone away. We're just floating through space at this point. Starting to come in. And we're back. We're back into the rhythm. Oh my gosh. Okay, let me know what you guys thought of Rainbow Road in K8. And we have front-running versions of all of these. These are so funny. They just add like a really dumb boochie bachi boochie bachi. I've talked about this before, but it's like they add just a drum loop on top of all of them that's the same. What's this one going to sound like? Exactly. They just add a loop on top of all of them. It's a little bit... Whoa. Instead of... Because that already has the hi-hat doing that in the original track. It's... That's pretty... That's pretty sick. That's pretty sick. What about these? That is so dumbed down. I'm sorry. I'm not feeling that at all for a front-running beat. No. It's hard to do on a waltz, but that sounds so dopey. I'm sorry. Again, same beat from Berlin Byways there on the front running. What about Mary Mountain? All right, it's the dance mix. Okay, that's actually... See, this would be cool if they tailored each front-running drum beat to the song a little bit more, and it wasn't just the same loop thrown on every single one. It sounds cheesy and cheap. Put a cool beat on this so it sounds like an actual dance mix of Mary Mountain. That's just like take basic dance beat #1 and put it on top. Maple Treeway, what's that going to sound like? Same exact thing. I mean, maybe that's the idea, is that whenever you're front running, that exact same drum beat comes in. I'm sure that is the idea. And now we are done, and I'm off to play the DLC Wave 3. I've heard it's a great wave. I know they've added some item customization, and Peach Gardens, I know it's a cool final lap where you're going in reverse like Mario Kart Tour. I'll see you guys in my next tour preview for Mario Kart Tour, where hopefully Snowland, the Wave 2 track, will come to Mario Kart Tour next tour announced this Friday. Maybe today, whenever this video comes out. So looking forward to that. Maybe a Kong Waltz in our future. I know everyone's very hyped for the Wave. Best reviewed Wave yet of the DLC. You guys all enjoy. Keep it here for more Mario Kart Tour content. If you haven't played Mario Kart Tour and you're here from Mario Kart 8, give the game a try. The gacha is gone from Mario Kart Tour. So here on this channel and others out there, we can help you optimize your account. It is like a role-playing game version of Mario Kart. It's everything I've ever wanted from a Mario Kart game because there's an infinite replay value to building and leveling up all your drivers, karts, and gliders and making your own meta for how you can tackle the game, all of its new tracks and the different loadouts. It's so much fun, and we've got so many retro tracks that have come to the game this year. 3 years plus into Mario Kart Tour, it keeps going. You don't have that replay value from any other Mario Kart game. I hope you guys will all check it out and join. All the strats and tips here on Kart Life await. So you guys take care. Thanks for tuning in today. Leave a like, leave a comment with your favorite soundtrack from this wave, and anything I might have missed, any references, homages, influences, inspirations you guys noticed in the music. And thanks for coming today, y'all. Stay safe, be kind to one another as always, and talk to you soon. Peace.